Hi there, and welcome to this tutorial for the play-alongs of Mistletoe by Justin Bieber. So ultimately, what happened was my family and I went on our annual trip up to Duluth, Minnesota to see the Bentleyville Tour of Lights. If you're ever in the Duluth area in Minnesota in the month of December or right before the month of December, make sure to go to that. This year in 2020, it was a little different. Normally you walk through the entire area. It's held in their Bayfront Park right as you can look out at Lake Superior and so forth. It can be very cold, but this year it was a drive-through event in 2020. Anyway, as we drove up, we always put on Christmas music. I heard this song in Apple's curated holiday collection and wanted to make a play-along of it. And then I came home and found out that Ricky Somborn, another YouTube personality, had released a play-along and a tutorial of this, so feel free to check out his work as well. Now, what we're going to do is introduce this song to you in a number of keys and for both GCEA and DGBE ukulele. So in other words, soprano concert or tenor is GCEA, baritone is DGBE. If you'd like to skip ahead to certain parts of this video, you can do so by using the slider below, or you can see the chapters actually listed in the description. Also, if you'd like a version of this song to play, you can do so by going to ukestuff.info. I will put in one disclaimer, which is the original uses a sus4 chord. In the version that I'm publishing out to ukestuff and ukestuff is carrying from this channel, it does not have that sus4 chord. If you want to know where that is, just check out that original version of the song. Also, before we begin, let me tell you the keys that we're going to do this in. The original is in the key of A, so we'll do that for both GCEA and DGBE ukuleles. But then for GCEA and DGBE, I'm putting a more simplified version in the key of G. And then for people that would really like an easy version on GCEA ukulele, I'm also providing a key of C version. So let's do the different chords you need for the different versions with GCEA ukulele. I'll be using this Ohana. This is their VKC-70 model. It is a replica of a Roy Smek Vita uke that they still make today with Ohana. It's a really neat looking pear-shaped instrument. Those in the Roy Smek version were clearly seals. These are a little more modernized, but it's kind of a neat replica. Great sounding little concert ukulele. So in the key of C, there are four chords. The C chord, the G chord, the A minor chord, and the F chord. And those are the four chords you need to play Mistletoe in the key of C on a GCEA ukulele. Now let's take a look at the chords you need for the key of G with a GCEA ukulele. The first chord would be the G chord. Then the D chord. As a side note, I play D a little differently than some people. I leave my first finger at the top of the third string second fret and put my other two fingers around it, making a small V shape. Changing from G then is pretty easy because my first finger's in the same spot, and then I can just transition over. Other people play D in other configurations. The next chord is the E minor chord. I love the E minor chord. I call it the waterfall chord. Make sure your first finger is just on the first string second fret and the other two fingers just fall right down the waterfall. You can leave the fourth string open. And then finally the C chord. And those are the four chords you need to play Mistletoe in the key of G on GCEA ukulele. Now let's take a look at the chords you need to play Mistletoe in the key of A on GCEA ukulele. We're going to throw a different chord in here based upon the recording. So the first chord is the A chord. The second chord is the E sus4. You can play this different ways, but you're going to cover strings 4 and 3 at the 4th fret. I'm using fingers 2 and 3. You can hear that suspension, which will never actually resolve itself in the song, by the way. Then an F sharp minor chord. Think of the G7 up one set of strings. And then the D chord. Now, the way that I play the D chord is I put my first finger at the top of the third string second fret, and then my other two fingers around it. So a change from F sharp minor to D is just sliding one finger, makes it really easy to change. So again, you've got your A E sus4, F sharp minor, and then D. And those are the 4 chords you need for Mistletoe in the key of A on GCEA Ukulele. Now let's take a look at the chords needed for Mistletoe on baritone DGBE Ukulele. I will be using my mainland baritone. It has a cedar top and rosewood back and sides. The first chord is the G chord. The second chord is the D chord. The third chord is the E minor chord. The fourth chord is the C chord. It's a pretty easy progression on baritone ukulele in the key of G. Now let's take a look at the chords you need to play Mistletoe on baritone DGBE ukulele in the original key of A. And there is a special chord here, the E sus4, which is present in the original recording. The first chord is the A chord. The second chord then is the E sus4, which is only the first 2 strings of the A chord. Then we have the toughest chord here of the bunch. You're going to play a bar chord, cover all 4 strings with 1 finger at the 2nd fret and pull against the fretboard there. Don't be on the middle of the fret, but right above and pulling against it. And that should give you a clean sound, and then you just support with your thumb. And then you add the 3rd finger to the 4th string, 4th fret. And that's your F sharp minor chord. And then finally your D chord. And those are the 4 chords you need to play Mistletoe by Justin Bieber in the key of A on baritone DGBE ukulele. Now let's talk about the strumming you can use on Mistletoe by Justin Bieber. Now, no matter what you do, you need to play on beats 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't really matter how you do it and what you do in between, but those are the beats. So in the key of G, which is accessible both on GCEA ukulele that I'm playing and baritone DGB ukulele, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, there are other things you can do. The full ring might bother you in that sort of pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to do something, what you can do is you can stop the strings each time with a tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's different ways to tap it, and there's different ways to stop the sound. Some people can even stop the sound by muting the sound with their left hand. They'll play the chord and then mute with the extra finger. Now, there are times you can actually play chords in different positions where you're playing all 4 of the strings. So for example, you can actually lift up on the strings and stop the sound too, but that doesn't help you in these first position chords. So that's why you might want to tap, and you can tap again in different ways. I find myself actually doing more of a slap. Some people actually do more of a tap with their hand or just a palm muting on it, but I kind of hit all the strings because why not? It's just kind of fun to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if that's really, really hard for you, can you go like this? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The answer is absolutely yes. There is no specific right answer. This is sort of a reggae beat, so you're really wanting to emphasize 2 and 4 in that mix, but as long as you're hitting 2 and 4, that's really what matters at first. All right, and quite honestly, that's all you need to play Mistletoe by Justin Bieber, and you can choose the key and you can choose the strumming pattern that you want to use. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you have a great holiday season. I wish you a very Merry Christmas, and I will be back soon with some more Uke stuff for you.